So, hello everyone, my name is Varis and this is my first video here on YouTube. I'm a second year computer science student and in this video I'll be talking about a well-known front-end topic, that's DOM. So, DOM refers to Document Object Model. What DOM does? It's a question that arises, but the DOM is used to manipulate HTML and CSS of elements within JavaScript. So it's a method through which we manipulate or change entirely elements within HTML and change the style of those elements using DOM. We don't need to add anything in HTML nor in CSS. We can do it wholly and solely in JavaScript. So what we are going to study in this video is how to change the content of our new HTML elements, and secondly how to change the style CSS of HTML elements. We are going to learn these two things in this video. So firstly, let me show you my HTML file. I have already linked this script.js within it. The script.js is empty for now. So you can see here's a div of ID container. Let me fill this div with something, okay? So let me just load it within the browser and let me show you what I'm telling. So as you can see, it's working just fine. I wrote hello, this is my first video within this div and it got loaded up within my browser. So now what I have to do is I have to bring this div, I have to import this div within JS so I can manipulate or change it later on. So for that I have to initialize the variable first. So I will initialize a variable, let container, my PC is a bit slow, sorry for that, let container is equal. So to select documents from HTML into JavaScript, we use a keyword document dot. The first method is you can select items based on what tags they are, and the second method is you can select items based on what their class is, and the third method is you can select items based on what their ID is. So firstly we will select elements based on their element type. So you might be seeing here's a pop-up coming up, document.querySelector. Document.querySelector, what it does is it looks for a specific type of element within the HTML file. For example, I'm writing here the div, okay? What it will do is it will import this div with ID container from my HTML file and load it into JavaScript, and from here I can manipulate it through various ways. So the first way I can manipulate this HTML element using JavaScript is I can use a keyword. Wait a second. What's my variable's name? Container dot, and here I can use a property dot text content. Okay, so you can see, as you can see that the text content of this div is hello, this is my first video. So I want to change it, okay? I'm not doing it from HTML, I'm doing it from JavaScript. As you can see, the content in here is hello, this is my first video. What I will do is I will change this content to something else. Hello, I'm feeling a bit nervous as I've got no exposure talking to myself in front of this camera. So let me load it. As here you can see that the text got changed, this div got changed. But what What about multiple tags of the same type? Like here, document.createSelector selects divs, okay? But what if there are one or more divs? There's one or more div inside the index.html file. So let me create another div. That its text content be okay. Now let me wait a second. You can see that the text content of the second div also got loaded because here in the document.query selector we selected the objects one div. I can do the same thing with the next div. Firstly, I have to now let's move on to how we can create divs or any other element within of HTML within our JavaScript. So what I'll do is I'll initialize a variable what I have to do is I have to write the same keyword document dot, but I have this time to create the element. I have to create the element this time. What I will do is I will type in the keyword create element. What it will do is it will create a new HTML element, and then I have to specify what type of element it is. Is it a h1 tag? Is it a div? Is it a paragraph tag or whatever? So I will do it right now. Let it be h1 tag. Okay. Keep in mind you have when initializing creating or selecting an already existing tag from HTML, you have to write the name of that tag within parentheses. Okay, so as here I'm trying to create the h1 tag. So till now the h1 tag is created within the memory, but as you can wait a second, let me give it a text content. New dot text content. So let's give it anything. You can see that it's not showing up in our browser screen. This is because that h1 element got created within the memory, but it's not a part of DOM. DOM is like a tree, you know. There's a parent and then there are children. We'll talk about it in the later videos, but for now just know that it's this h1 tag has been created in the memory, but it's not linked to the DOM tree just yet. So we have to link it to the DOM tree. What we'll do is we have to select a parent node. Okay, for example, here is a container. Let's just remove the second one. We have already got the point what it was for. Here's a container which is already showing up on our screen. Okay, it's already showing up on our screen. What we'll do is we'll assign it as a container, as a parent for our h1. Okay, so what we'll do is firstly the parent, we have to mention the parent element, which is container dot. Here's a special property which we use to append child to a parent element. Take it that way, like you have to fill in the container. So for that we use the keyword append child. It's pretty simple, it's like plain English. Container append child, and in the brackets you have to append the child to that container. What we wanted to append it to it, the new variable which contains our h1 tag. So here I appended the child to this container variable. So what it will do is the h1 tag got shown up on the screen. Let's just remove it all for a second. I'll make another thing clear before we move on to the CSS part. Let's remove this tag. Let's do element as whole. So here's my script.js file. What I'll do is I won't create any type of element, any type of tag in my HTML. I'll do it on this JavaScript only. So let's initialize a variable. And what we want to do is we want to create a div. Sorry. Document.create element. Use this line to create any type of tag within HTML. So let's make a div tag. Let it just be a container. We don't want any type of content within it. So let's initialize another variable and make another div within it. Document.create element. We'll make another div. So let's do the same thing as before. Just append this child div as child to this container div. So to initialize that, we have to first write down our parent container, which is whose name is container in this case, container dot, and the property append child, and in the brackets we have to mention the one which we want to store in that container, in that DOM node. Okay. So let me just write it. So up till now you might be guessing that by doing all three steps, this child element, wait a second, let me give it a text content first. So up to this point you might be wondering that this child element, that this child div will be showing up on the screen. Let's check this. No, it's not. The main reason behind it is we are just assigning the container. Okay, we are just assigning this child as a child to this container. We are just assigning it. But we ain't assigning this container to the HTML. We have to assign that as well. We have to assign container as a child to the body of HTML file, and then after that we have to append this child as a child of container. It's like a relationship, like tree-like structure, as I said earlier. So let's just do this. I already appended child to this container. So what I'll do is I'll append this container as a child to the body of that HTML file. Document, which is referring to our HTML document, to the body dot append child. Syntax, and let's write in your container. Let's see, will it load now? Yes, it will. So now let's move on to CSS properties. I hope how to create HTML elements within DOM and how to change HTML elements within DOM is clear. Now let's talk about some CSS properties, how to access CSS of HTML elements within JavaScript or DOM. So let's just do this. and its text content is equal to hello world. Let's just load this page and see. Has it changed it? Yes, it has. So I will give you another concept how to select elements by their ID and by their classes. We have to initialize a variable first. Let's name that variable as container is equal to. We have to specify where we are getting this, where we are getting this container variable from. Document dot. As we want to get this element by ID, we will choose this keyword get element by ID, and we will write in the ID of this element, which is container. Keep in mind we have to do this within parentheses. Next, in order to style it, what we are going to do is we are going to call the variable name container dot, and we are going to use a property called as style. Okay. Dot. For example, you want to change the color of your text is equal to. Let me just set. And one more thing, if you want to change the background color in CSS, we write background like this. Okay, we write background like this, but in JavaScript this sign that we use in CSS to separate words is understood as a minus, so we don't need to do it. What we are going to do is we have to write it in camel keys. Okay, wait a second. Background, again I'm repeating, don't use this sign to separate a property, a CSS property. What I mean by this is background. In CSS we write background as this, but in JavaScript we can't write background as this, as it will show an error. This JavaScript will take this separating sign as minus, so it won't work. So in place of minus, what we will do is we'll use camel keys. Background. Okay, we have selected background to red. Let it be black. Okay, or blue. Let me set the text color to red. And see what happens when I load it. Setting something. Just like this. Background color. I'm sorry. I have to write that. You have to write that color C in camel keys. Okay. Background is small, then C in capital, and all other characters in lowercase as well. So as you can see, the background is blue and the text content is red. So this was all. I'm sorry if anyone found my English hideous. English is not my first language. I'm still trying to speak it. Thank you.